goddamn music, chat. You know, man. I'm about to start doing random freestyles over this countdown. Like, Jesus Christ. You see the YTC in the middle of the ring.
Oh, what a time to be alive on a Monday night in the most famous venue in all of sports entertainment, the Garden.
New York City.
I lost the monologue. I forgot my line. My apologies.
Ooh, we chat. Unwelcome your thoughts. Off the hip, baby. This is the March 10th, March 11th episode. WWE Raw recap.
Hold on, wait.
Now, I just want to piggyback off something you said, Razor. The Mecca, New York City. I'm going to be honest. And I know you can probably attest to this if you've been to the big arenas out in Cali for you. When you in New York City, Madison Square Garden, it is very different than Barclays Center in Brooklyn. It's just a more...
I think of, let's see, in San Francisco, they have the Fillmore. Then you see venues like Carnegie Hall. You see the Garden, these historic venues, the Cow Palace.
Yes. Oh, man.
Where you just step foot in there and you can feel the history. You can feel what the emotions in the hallways. The ECW arena in Philly, the 2300 arena.
Yes.
You just step foot in there, you just feel it.
The Hammerstone.
Mm-hmm.
That ballroom. It don't matter what like, it feels like dope. It doesn't matter which promotion goes in there. The fans bring that life to it. When they in that setting.
They become one with the spirit, the essence of the venue.
Yeah, bro. Oh man, like, and I say that because when I stepped into the arena, it just felt special. It felt different. Like you said, the rich history. Seeing that WrestleMania sign hanging by them Ranger banners. I'm like, I had to soak it in. Also, this WrestleMania, I could be wrong. I don't remember last year's being animated. So like seeing the animated WrestleMania logo hanging above, I was like, man.
What do you mean animated?
So it was flickering like the lights.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, and if they had it like that in years past or whatever the case may be, but I'm trying to see if I could find a video. I thought I had sent it to you. I might have just sent you the picture of the WrestleMania sign. But
I mean, they got $5 billion to play with, so I'm sure they're experimenting with stuff here and there.
Yep, so I sent it over to you whenever you get a chance. I don't know if it's sent immediately. It looked like it's still sending. But yeah, I remember last year we seen the WrestleMania 40 sign with the bell, the green, the Philly. It didn't do nothing special. It was up there. This
Just
one,
big ass XL.
right. This WrestleMania got like the LED lights. Like, you see the WrestleMania changing colors. And yeah, they just did well with that sign and that logo this year. I'm like, man, the production is really taking a step up. And being in the Garden, the first thing I remember the last time significant was Roman Reigns, 1,000 days as champion, happening in the Garden. Like, I think Madison Square Garden is Roman's home. If I'm not mistaken, this is where the island of relevancy was birthed.
Among many other things. Let's not forget, this is also the birthplace of WrestleMania. This is the birthplace of the entity, the enigma that we now know as World Wrestling Entertainment. It was conceived. Now, granted, it's a different address nowadays, but the walls still remain the same. It is still Madison Square fucking Garden. The world's most famous arena. You can go anywhere in the world. You mention the Garden, folks gonna know what it is. Facts
And
are
like
facts.
you said, even though they moved the Garden throughout the years, what remains the same is in our lifetime, this is still the same garden where Stone Cold was giving out stunners. The Rock was giving out people's elbows. Cans of whoop ass were being bust.
WrestleMania
Things,
21, we watched John Cena
come
beat the Big
on.
Show to become U.S. champion. Fast forward a few years later, we watched him recover from, I believe, a torn pec injury in like world record time. That's where he was dubbed Super Cena.
The Royal Rumble return. Like,
We saw at WrestleMania 20 the return of the Rock and Sock Connection versus Evolution.
bro,
Or
when
also
John
the same
Cena's.
WrestleMania that we saw Benoit and Eddie both be crowned world champions.
Hell, let's take it down to a regular Monday Night Raw when Mick Foley was getting thrown down the steps.
Man,
And I walked down those steps today. Those same steps.
did you look up and say "Have a nice day"?
I should have. I was yeeting all the way out of the arena. I'm guilty.
Ain't no shame in that. By the way, we need to show these other people what I'm working on
Oh
now
hell
before I
yeah.
go
Hold
blind.
on. Let's show him the drip then. Let's show him the
You said
Skywalker.
you said the drip. Oh,
Oh,
you see you peep it, but
oh,
also
and
you peep
I
that.
love the
Bam.
hat, man. I love the hat.
Ooh.
Chat, y'all gotta go hit that fucking QR code right there. The orange one. It'll take you to the merch, to the hat that we both got on.
Got a
Pick
few
your
different
flavors.
got a few different styles, few different colors. You name it, it's on the way.
Ladies, hold on. Can you show the folks your glasses real quick too?
Oh, yes, sir.
This is real tribal commentator work right here.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Real tribal designer work right there. I just had to pay homage because the glasses do not come like that, folks.
And
They do
I
not.
wish.
Don't we all?
I probably can't replicate that either.
Mm, man. But tonight was a special evening. I just want to kick it off from my lens of what I seen, and then we can start off with the actual show or with whatever what we had on the screen, Roman. But I thought it was interesting to actually see a speed match in person. I never seen one in person. This
Oh,
was
they're
my first
incredible.
time. Yeah, bro. They had Shayna Baszler versus Michin. I thought the match could have honestly been better, but it was cool to just see them out there, to be honest, because I'm a fan of both. So I was happy seeing them right before Raw. We didn't get no Penta tonight on Raw, but we did get a full entrance for his main event match, and it was pretty solid, bro. Like,
That's okay. Again, we're at that stage where we can preserve them here and there. It's okay.
nah, and that's why I had to mention it, because some folks probably where's Penta, but we did see him in the arena tonight. We were treated to getting to see the
It's
man
just
work tonight.
us folk watching from Netflix. We're like, ¿dónde está?
And I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not trying to be petty, but that is a person that we've never seen in person wrestle, and that was one of the ones we were looking forward to. So I'm glad they at least gave us Penta on the main event match, and he went over as he should have. I don't agree with how
Getting them
long the
reps in.
match was with Joe Quinn Wild, but that's
Zima
neither here nor
Ion,
there. Yeah,
DJ Z.
that's
Ugh.
neither here nor there, but it was cool. Now, let's start off with the real action of the night.
We started off hot.
Jay Uso doing his crowd entrance, walking from the concession, getting the crowd hype.
Before we get into that,
Oof.
um, again, one thing that love him or hate him, Pat McAfee uttered a beautiful line.
Okay, yeah, this is what I need to hear from you because I couldn't hear this in the arena.
He said, "Main event Jey Uso is now in New Yeet City."
Mmm. Damn. You see, they should have really dropped the shirt that said that. That would have been cold blooded.
With the Knicks colors, Rangers colors, hell,
And
even Yankee pinstripes, it would have worked.
Chad, this is no fabrication. When they say that Jay Uso is the number one merch seller, I first-handed seen it for myself today. When I'm online and then I finally get to the point where I get to ask for which shirt I want for me and my family, there's only 3XL
And
in
then
the
look at you
Yeet
go,
New York
oh shit, you can
Knicks.
go to Fanatics and get order that.
Yeah.
You can go
Man,
to
I
WWE
hope they
Shop and
got
order it. Take
well,
your ass to Hot Topic.
I hope they got the New York Knicks version on there. They should, right? because sometimes they acted like, well, get it here tonight only. Had me
And a
worried,
lot
man.
of and a lot of shirts are one night onlys.
That's the part that I was like, I was trying to snag that one night only. So imagine, chat, you got his regular merch that's ciphered throughout, like the orange yeet, the red yeet. Okay, but then the one night onlys, he's selling out on those. My motherfucking brother raised a knife from New York. They said 3XL. I was gonna get one for him. Like, hell, here.
I'm screaming.
Yeah, three. But I was like, man, that
Yeah, so
price tag was crazy. That shit was
I do not
45. I
see
was
the
like,
Knicks
boy.
shirt on Fanatics. I'm on the app right now.
I should have took a picture of it. Somebody online to post it. They'll tag it, but man,
The only one that they have that's in Knicks colors is the main event of the Rumble shirt.
it had a real retro feel to it. I say that. All the other designs he did for the cities had more of an up to date feel. This Knicks one had more of a retro feel to it.
He had a couple of hockey ones that were nice too.
Yeah, those joints were mean. The San Jose. I think he had what was it? Was it I think it was a
Dallas
Dallas
Stars, I
one.
think.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean the merge game. Amethyst, we happy on this side. How you feeling today?
Oh, we know damn well how she's feeling.
Oh yeah,
We know
baby.
exactly how she's feeling.
Today was our day. Yes, today was our day. The tribal empire can finally rejoice. We can sit here and, what I'm saying, acknowledge our tribal chief in unison. Just know, I wish I had a reaction, bro. When Roman came out, I marked out so bad because my wifey didn't see him yet. And I'm a little taller than her, so I was able to see Roman running through. And I'm
But
like a
again,
little ass kid, bro.
when all that went down, you really couldn't tell who it was till after the cameraman took about 5 steps back.
For
So it took
sure.
a minute.
Yeah, bro. I was kind of like, as soon as I seen the hair, I'm like, it's Roman, it's Roman, it's Roman. I'm like, bro, I'm jumping up and down. Like, I don't even know where my
So
dang phone was.
when I first saw the big ass head and the hair, my first thought came was like, okay, if it ain't Roman, it could be Drew.
Drew, I definitely like, but I was
But
so hell bent. I was speaking it into existence. Like, I asked my
then
girl right before, you
you saw
ready?
the half sleeve and it's like
Bro,
all is right in the world.
the writing was on the wall. The way you been painted this picture a year ago. Amethyst done painted this picture in chats with us weeks ago. I came around a few days, maybe weeks ago, where I'm like, on Monday, Roman's coming back. It's
I
gotta
went
be.
deeper. Again, for the last year I've been saying since Mania 40, there's gonna be a time, especially on Raw, Roman's gonna get back into that zone to where show up, wreck everybody, and leave. Public enemy number one is gonna be the man that's standing in the back, the man that's been a thorn in his side for the last decade.
Oh, they just went to the back right there. I'm sorry to cut your wisdom. They just went to the back after the TV went off. Roman just walked up the ramp.
I didn't even get that. Mine cut out when they were still in the ring.
Yeah,
So a lot of people saw different things from what I'm hearing. But also, what I heard that a lot of folks, Roman's return happened during a commercial break. So Netflix was on all kinds of weird shit today.
I say this too. Unless I didn't really look correctly, I used to be able to identify when they were on commercial breaks because the red light on the hard cam.
But
Tonight it was kind of hard for me to identify that.
you know what identified it for me? What did they do last week?
What did
I'm
they
asking
do?
for a very specific response, and I texted you this as it was happening last week.
I'm lost right now. You gotta
They
help
went
me,
past the 2.5 hour mark.
bro. I was gonna text you, bro. I was gonna be like, "Here we go," but I had
They
to.
were hugging that 2.5 hour mark. I'm like, oh shit.
I was so immersed in the moment that like there was a good portion of that last hour after I caught the entrances on my phone. I'm like into it, bro. Like I'm really like throughout all of the false finishes. I'm so like, and then also during the hard cam, you get to see the timestamp right there, right? So that's when I seen 10. It was like 10:18. I was getting ready to hit you, but then I started like, hold on, something might happen. We getting closer.
Like you may get a flash knockout, something like that. Maybe.
That's when they started
Nah.
going to the top. Yeah, that they started getting to a lot of spots there. That's when I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta really pay attention here. So mine ended with him in the ring, but I saw him return too. Okay, I felt like from where I was sitting, I would have to see how it came across on television because it was kind of like, again, like I said, no entrance music. You just see him dart into the ring, and you
So
start
from
okay.
where you were sitting at, if you took your eye off the cage and you were focused about a little bit to your right, you might have saw at least the baby oil on his hair as he's jogging into the
But it
over
was
the
like my
barricade.
timing was perfect. I seen him as he was running through the crowd because, like you said, a little bit of once the crowd popped, my
It's like, where's he at? Where the hell is
yeah,
he at?
and as soon as I turned, I seen. So I'm like, oh, it's real. It's happening. Did they play his theme
So
when he left out? Yeah, they played his theme.
they
They played
played
his
the
theme.
theme with when the credits
Yeah.
hit.
Which I'm gonna be honest with me as like somebody that wanted to like acknowledge my tribal chief. I felt like like I was shorted on time for my acknowledgement. Like I didn't get to fully acknowledge my. We got to, but I felt like I wanted to acknowledge more. I'm just saying. I wanted to acknowledge more. These could have been held up for another 5 minutes. I'm just saying. We don't. I'm not gonna
That's fair.
lie. Yeah, you
But
feel me?
again,
Like
the tribal chief cometh, the tribal chief goeth.
yeah.
He is wherever he wants to be, whenever he needs to be.
But I ain't gonna lie though. It looked like he enjoyed being in New York. Like it's something about when, like for example, when he seen Paul Heyman in the ring with Punk,
Oh my god.
it was like that face like he does when he's like, watch this crowd. Like,
The look on his face was, you too? Is this what
hmm.
we doing now? Punk, I don't care what history y'all got, what history you and I got, you are now collateral damage. And you know what it kind of reminded me of? That primal rage that Brock used to get back in the day. Like if someone's doing something that he don't really quite rock with, immediately he snaps.
Mm-hmm.
And like I told you many a time, Roman's gonna get back into that primal state of mind to where it's not only kill or be killed, but deeper than that to where it's me and nobody else.
Now I'll be honest. I feel like I seen a heel Roman Reigns tonight,
Again, many have said heel, whatever. I'm just saying he's just showing you who's always been for the last 5 years.
and I love that. That's what I'm saying. That's
It's
what it
always
needs to
been
be.
him.
I don't need the superhero Roman Reigns. I'm fighting everybody's battles and nah. No, I don't want that super overly
If
nice.
Rock comes back, cool. If it's Rock, I get it. If it's Cena for maybe, I get it. Maybe Gunther, I get it. But it's a very select few. That level Roman can't be for just everybody because then you kind of bastardize what his capabilities are.
And it's just that character is so badass when he's on top. Like it's just running through people, and you know what I'm saying. That I kind of feel like the fans almost positioned him in a way where they wanted him to apologize to people. I don't want to see Roman apologizing to nobody, man. Like I don't want, like, man. Roman is just a tribal chief. Thank you. Like it should always been there, and nobody declaimed. Like ain't nobody took that from him.
Do
Like
you remember what he said about 10 years ago? I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the
I'm the
guy.
guy. Yeah. Like facts.
And sometimes you just got to get on that boss mode and let folks know, hey, this is me, and it's only me.
Because CM Punk, oh, you thought I forgot? You eliminated me from the Rumble while I had my hands on Seth Rollins getting my revenge? Watch this, brother. Yeah, take the spear. He had him with one of those brawn ones too, run up off the rope.
You went through him.
Yeah, like
Let me give you a little taste of this ass whooping you about to get.
it felt like the impact. the crowd popping, everything just felt so impactful in that moment. I'm not even gonna lie,
But
like
I think the loudest pop was when Roman dropped Seth with the curb stomp. Because
that
Roman
was
put some little on that. There was pain and anger behind that stomp. That was 10 years of pent up rage.
thank you,
10 years
Amethyst.
of
I agree with you.
scarring that, okay, you getting a lick too.
Yeah. Oh man, you thought this is what I'm saying. That's the energy we were saying it. We need that wreck everyone and leave energy. We said this 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Hmm.
After that Royal Rumble moment happened.
And I said
This is how it
it's
must
a
be.
matter of time.
Yeah, and I'm good.
And
This
but
is the
again, it's
perfect.
gonna be on his terms, as we saw tonight.
And what way, like you said, I might have wanted to hear the music, but I'm gonna play into what you said. What way to catch them slipping? Both y'all in a cage match. Look at y'all, stupid. Look at y'all
Why
fighting
should
each
I
other,
tell you when I'm
beating.
coming when I got you in the palm of my hand? Let me play my food a little bit. Then I'll take y'all when I feel that it's time to take you out, put you behind the pasture.
The
Until
only
then,
thing,
you just dance for me.
I'm gonna be honest, if I wanted to nitpick something though, the only thing that confused me, and I'm gonna attribute it to Roman's anger for Seth, he helped Seth win the match inadvertently. Or was it done on purpose? To fucking
Definitely on purpose.
to get
Because
under
did
CM
you
Punk even more?
that and did you see the look on Seth's face when he realized who pulled him out?
It was total shock.
A part of him wanted to run away.
Total shock. He couldn't. It was like,
He looked like
like
he saw a goddamn ghost.
yeah, like I thought I put this guy out. I ain't know when he was coming around. He's out to pick. No, he's not. Not in New York City. Not in the Big Apple. Not with the lights
You
shine
can't kill
bright.
a god.
Mm.
Seth and Punk got a taste of God mode. That's what it was. Back when he said, "Can no one hit his button? You don't woke the beast up.
He
Now you
manhandled
must
Seth
pay the
out that
consequences."
cage. He manhandled Seth out that cage. Like, yo, come here. What you doing? Again, like you said, Seth is like, whoa, what just happened?
Hmm.
Yeah, Roman was definitely on it. That energy. This is what I'm talking about. That's what I need from my tribal chief. And
And
isn't
can you
it's nothing
imagine this
less.
Friday when Solo finds out that he's back? Granted, Jacob gonna be chomping in the bit, but Solo gonna be like, I may need to move a little different now. I may need to
I,
cash in my own favors."
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I love my Usos and shit, but until they really cross again, Roman kind of just put that on like they bet like Amethyst was saying they're different categories again. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I can't sit there and think whatever Solo and them doing is really on the same plateau as what they doing. It's not. It shouldn't even be compared. It's just different. You know what I'm saying?
But like I
Now
said, in
the
order for
cross,
him to get back to the gold,
it
he's
gotta intertwine at some point. It has
no,
to.
but I'm saying as far as what we saw tonight, like I said, Punk that's gonna be what it's gonna be down the road. But the main objective, the main target is Seth Rollins, because again, that's the one thorn in his side.
And check, go back a year. Go to maybe a few weeks after our first, well, I want to say WrestleMania 40. After those recaps, go back and Razor said it. Roman Reigns needs to go after Seth Rollins. And we sat here and said, wow, what like
Y'all called
why?
me crazy.
If I
Y'all
find
thought
the episode,
I thought I was some bullshit.
if I find the episode, I'll link it. I'll put the clip in here. I just wanted to put it out
It
there.
was said on more than one episode. I can promise you that.
Yup. And I just had to go to the earliest time, which is almost a year to the date. Where if we go what next month, you could
Next
go
month is
back.
WrestleMania month.
Yup, almost a year. And it's like so crazy because you was calling for it. I didn't really want to see it in terms of I just wanted Roman to get back to the gold chase, but the way they manifesting this is undeniable.
It's almost like when Cody when he had the list. The tribal chief got his own hit list, but certain names got bumped up to the top for obvious reasons, and one name has never left the top.
I mean, again, he's never been able to. definitively beat or cause Seth because he's always doing something. He choked him out, DQ. Seth wins that match, but the title doesn't change hands. Remember the first time they fought for the championship.
And that was at the Rumble, I believe.
So Seth wins that match. Then Seth costs Roman at WrestleMania. Seth is the reason Roman got thrown out at Royal Rumble. It's like because so it's a beautiful story that I can't wait to see when Roman finally is able to get over the anger and put Seth down the clean way.
So you haven't done the My Showcase yet, right?
Nah.
Okay, so now I don't know if this is an actual video from the showcase or if it's just something that was posted online, but they have Paul Heyman recanting the stories of Roman's past. And they get to the topic of Roman versus Seth. And the picture that Paul paints with this is an absolute masterpiece. And he goes, "You want me to use this as a shtick? No, this is no shtick. This is a personal hatred. I can't just make a joke out of this just for a video game. This is very real to Roman Reigns. This is a very real situation to your tribal chief. This is no laughing matter with him. It's not like I tweeted earlier. This isn't business. It's personal.
Mm-hmm.
There are many grudges that he has, but this is the one thorn in his side. This is the one man that's caused him pain and anguish for over 10 years. Yes, he got a small look back at Mania, blah, blah, blah. But again, you can never erase the scar that chair put on Roman's back. So when they lock horns, as Paul stated, you will never see your architect again. You will never see your revolutionary again. You will never see your visionary again. There will be no more Monday Night Messiah. There will be nothing left for him in WWE. He's going to put him in a body bag.
Mm.
So again, we're going to when they log horns. I joked in this few weeks ago before the Rumble that Roman's going to have more of a primal state of mind. I think it might be more deeper rooted than that.
Mm.
We might see it. We might see a dead body at WrestleMania.
Man, they gonna stretch this man out. I'm all for it. I ain't gonna lie, cause
You might
they
have to
really
bring out Becky Lynch as she's crying back up the ramp with Seth on a gurney.
they try to do my tribal chief bad, man. When I say they, it's really Seth Rollins. Like CM Punk played a role in it. Yeah, he threw him out, whatever. But CM Punk, he
He's
did
thinking on
that.
the business side.
Yeah, Seth did the devious act of 2 foot stomping his man. Your curb stomp is with one traditionally. You
You
tried to
dropped both
violate
feet on him.
and a little ass on it because you landed on him.
And the way Roman's looking at it now is, all right, you had your free shots. I'm still standing. You're fucking dead now.
Beautiful.
Like you said on O'Shea's podcast. I woke up. Everybody else is fucked now.
He's out there
We're gonna
hibernation.
see a more vindictive, a more powerful version of God mode. I fear.
Whew. The road to WrestleMania, it's safe to say that any concerns we had, it shouldn't be
Those
there.
got wiped away real quick.
Yeah. I see folks still trying to debate if Jay Uso, John Cena should have won. Listen, we good. We good. We good. We good, y'all. We good where we at right now.
For with what we've seen the last couple weeks, everything feels just right. And it's rare when WWE has a ceiling this way. It's one thing to get a certain story here and there, all right, it's moving and grooving, but this WrestleMania is going to be very different, like anything we've seen in the past years and all that. This WrestleMania is like it's shaped to be the most chaotic one in recent memory, if not of all time. And again, we are going to be privileged of seeing 2 nights of absolute chaos. The Rock might actually let the inmates run the asylum, and it's going to work.
And I'm not gonna lie, the traditionalist in me a few weeks ago was like, yo, the Royal Rumble winner has to main event. Like, I'm like, you taking away the purpose of the Rumble. But I'm gonna be honest, the way that things are playing out, do you force Gunther Jay main event, or do you just say, yo, these are the better, this is the better main event, man? Like, it is, he's still getting his title shot.
Well, what about Tiffany and Charlotte?
They still getting their title shots. It's like, well, okay, we switched it up. They not getting the main event. But is it main event worthy the way it's been built up? Because then y'all gonna shit on it when it happens and say, oh, but this wasn't main event worthy. So then let's fucking put the main event stuff that is main event at the main event. Respectfully. Let's try that out this year. We've never went that direction. We in the year of doing new
So
things.
so
Let's do it.
so let me ask you this question: Are we insinuating that one main event is going to be this inevitable triple threat between Punk, Roman, and Seth, and the other main event's going to be Cody and Cena?
I'm not going that far,
Well,
but
again, what other possibilities are there?
Look, with the way things have been unpredictable, we just had Io Scott beat Rhea Ripley last week. This could turn into a triple threat match now.
I can see that main eventing, to be honest.
You feel me? Like, things could, anything that's gaining momentum and has the legs for it.
And this is the point where everything is going to be gaining momentum these next 6 weeks.
And it's like a weird, it's kind of like a blanket statement. Oh, you got to go and create that. You got to go and get, but it's something that it just, you have to go and it's self-explanatory. You got to get it. It can't be explained. The crowd got to feel. Like tonight, Io Sky, they felt for Io when she slapped both of them ladies and said, "No, I'm the champion. How you going to disregard me, push me out?" They mushed her, huh? Both of them, huh? To the champion, to the world champion. She came in.
Smack
Get
the
out.
taste out of both their mouths, especially Bianca. There was some disrespect in that slap.
Yeah, Rhea's was more like a, yo, calm down.
Like I just whooped your ass.
Bianca's was like a, yo, you really mushed me though? Here. Bow. Oh, that one. Like, it would be cool if they had a number one contenders step to the triple threat. The winner gets a shot at the champion that they choose. I'm for it too. Because at the end of the day, what we gonna do at Backlash? Rematches? I'm not like, I know it's Backlash and that's supposed to be the thing, WrestleMania Backlash or whatever it was called before. Now they just call it Backlash again. I get it, but no, we doing new things, right? Let's do them.
I can think of 2 matches right now for Backlash.
Let's do them.
You could jump into Jade and Bianca, but you could also do either a third match with Seth and Punk, or you can do Roman and Seth 1-on-1.
I probably want to see a Randy and Kevin Owens on that show too. A second, cause
Okay, 3 matches.
yeah,
Okay, Backlash will be 4 matches. So again, you incorporate maybe John Cena and Cody Part 2. There's your card for Backlash. See how easy that was?
yeah, like,
Again, there's so many things that are picking momentum like you talked about. But again, it's like it's almost a blessing in disguise that Mania is now 2 nights because there's so many stories. There's so many angles that are culminating into stories. Like I said, you touched on Randy and KO potentially. Honestly, I wouldn't. I'm kind of not mad at Priest and Drew. Maybe do something at Backlash.
and then remember we got Saturday night main event. What's that? A week before Mania, or something like that, or is it a few weeks?
We're getting before Mania.
Yeah. Let me look up the date on this because they had
I
announced
know
it.
we're getting one before Memorial Day weekend because they advertised Cena for that.
Okay, nah, I thought we had one before.
Yeah, May 25th. Thank you. But yeah, that's when that because they said they just started advertising Cena for that.
Right, so like that in itself is kind of crazy too. Advertising Cena for a Saturday night main event.
And
Thank you, Amethyst. Yeah, pardon me.
This and that might be after Backlash, to be honest.
It's gonna be May, so let me see when Backlash is.
I'll race you. The date is
All political stuff came up when I typed in Backlash. Crazy.
no, that's France.
I don't see a date,
They haven't announced
but
it yet. No date, no location yet. But it'll have it's got to be before Saturday Night's Main Event. I would have to assume.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, but Backlash is rumored to be in Mexico, which that should be interesting. Or again, like other
I
matches
mean,
that
I don't know how true it is. It seems like there's no confirmation, but from what I'm reading here, um, Bad Bunny during an interview with Rolling Stone, Bunny
yeah,
said the
allegedly he leaked it.
yeah the Mexico stuff. I saw last year Backlash was in France. Now it's going to Mexico. They saw that it worked. When he saw that it worked, he was referring to the Puerto Rico Backlash. And yeah, I mean, maybe he did a slip up. Maybe he just saw the same things we saw. Who knows? I mean, and it's not too far off because I think I seen an interview right after The Rock had announced I think it was Ricky Saints mentioning that he heard that the WrestleMania was gonna be in Louisiana
Hmm.
next year. And it was funny because again, they could be hearing the same things we hearing, reading the same things we're reading, or they got some inside information just because they work for the company. Who knows, right? Or work close to the company. I don't know what's Bad Bunny's contractual status with WWE at this point, but you know, quite telling that he said that.
Who knows?
But let's get back to the action for tonight. I mean, we started off with Jay Uso versus Grayson Waller, right? Now, Jay Uso was hype, and I didn't like this match to be honest. In terms of, I thought Grayson Waller got too much offense, and for me, looking at Jay being the challenger for Gunther,
I would have been more satisfied if this match ended in a DQ than a clean finish for Jay. Because again, Gunther's on his 10 weeks of hell
yeah,
campaign
there
right
there
now.
was no aggression right here at all, bro. There was, and yeah, that attack. If you talking about the DQ could have helped Jay win
No, so
because of Gunther,
I'm saying Theory could have came in. You could have had maybe Jay Super Kick or maybe some miscommunications between Theory and Waller. Then Gunther comes out, and then that's how we go out. But just I wouldn't have done a clean finish, just me personally.
I think I would have did the if I want to build Jay to like. I mean, come on, this is where the continuity fucks up for me a little bit. We just had him beat Braun Breaker a couple months ago for the IC Championship in a good outing. Even when he lost, it was a good outing. And then now it's like just having like you letting Grayson Waller get shit off.
But also, let's not forget we've been teasing Waller and Theory splitting for how many months now?
Point.
So and again, like now you got Theory doing a little yeet when Waller's not looking on social media.
I think that's cool. He did it a few weeks ago too when they was in that backstage segment
Oh, he
when
did it this
Jay
morning too. He doing
yeeting
it.
all over the place.
Yeah, and he's like Waller's not around, is he? He does one of these.
Austin Geary, man.
But
Again though, I felt like this isn't what I want to see from my like I felt like this is like imagine any of our challenges historically from a Royal Rumble winner. having a good match with a mid carder.
And what definitely ruined it for me, as much as it pains me to say this, that segment with Jay and Alpha Academy at the trainer's desk, and you have Otis apologizing.
I ain't
That's
gonna lie, the way they keep them around, they should be a group too. Like that should be
right.
Jay's little peoples now. Like
What do you call them? The Eaters?
why I don't know why I hate that name, but that's the first shit that came to mind too. For the Yeet, like that was that like I
Imagine
hate it, but
Otis the Eater Heater.
psh, I mean, yeah, what could you call them?
But yeah, something does seem a little out of place with the four of them. But a part of it me thinks that something could work out of them as well.
Oh, for sure.
But that little segment and all that kind of like ruined it for me. So I'm like, back to your question of is this match a main event match? This took a couple steps backwards for me.
Oh yeah, it did. It 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 almost makes it feel, and I hate to say this, it almost makes it feel like they're gonna have like the most regular match ever, bro. Like it's bad enough that the build up is bad, but damn, to have a regular match at that too, that could be detrimental going forward for like Jay's booking. Like he's always gonna be a fan favorite, but how can we keep putting him in heavyweight position and like this is how? And I'm not putting it on Jay. It's not on Jay. It's just how.
They backed him into a corner,
Yeah, they're telling him to go out and work the underdog when
and
at this point he shouldn't be the
and
like
and,
that
and
much
let's
of an
let's go a
underdog.
little bit deeper. Say he does beat Gunther, you're just feeding him to Roman.
I'm not mad at that though. I mean, others
Because
are gonna be, but you know,
would be worse? Jay being fed to Roman, or Jay losing at Mania, only for Roman to win the belt a couple months later
I mean
from
that's
Gunther.
I think that's where Amethyst is going with the Roman might come back for Gunther eventually for his bullshit to Jay, and then it'll only make I I hate to say it,
That hurts
it'll
Jay a
make
lot.
it does, but it makes the perfect sense. Like I've always been saying, like y'all took Jay out the tag team with his brother. Like yeah, he was hurt, but y'all ain't have to go crazy with it. Like y'all
Well,
really by the
they
time
didn't
Jimmy,
think he'd be entertaining.
but even when Jimmy came back, y'all could have had both of them leave. You had Jimmy
Mm,
stick around and really do nothing in that time too,
he wanted to
except
play
get kicked.
quarterback.
Yeah, you feel me? Like
Like I said, Jay and Jimmy are there in very interesting spots to where they see the momentum that Jay has garnered the last couple years. They're hopeful that Jimmy can get up there, but again, with whatever, I don't know if Jimmy's got the injury bug again or whatever, but something's not clicking. And
I think he just stopped used to
I
do
think
his
they're at a
brother
point to
shit.
where they're so far apart now. I think they're almost afraid to put them back together.
In my eyes, you can't really like, and if you do, you have to reinvent the wheel almost, like, kind of like what the New Day did. Like they got stale with the same old stuff. Now it's like, oh,
The only way it would benefit the Usos is if they go on a Roman Reigns level of title runs to where they just get all the gold and they don't take any losses for the next couple of years as a tag team, just running the table. Even that's a stretch.
I'm not gonna lie too. I would like to see the Usos do a combination of everything they did their whole career a little bit. Like I want to see them pay homages to. It's kind of how like Jimmy had his retro gear on. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, he got the same gear as Naomi," and then we look back at the pictures. It was kind of like he had his own retro colors on too. Like you want to play that route.
What about the face paint?
I was thinking about it. Why not? I mean, why not do the dance before? But remember the ooh more the
What the
ooh the
Haka?
yeah, like that was fire to me. Or bring back that Uso penitentiary style where y'all was going one line,
I, I,
one
I'm, I'm,
line, one
I
line.
mean, they kind of never went away from that. Once they kind of got that thing going, it's just I don't know, but again, I
It
guess
got
I'm
to
going
be
back to that.
amplified. It got to be
But,
amplified.
but how do you amplify something that was already damn near perfect?
I mean, for me, it would have to be everybody got to be back on top. Roman back with the heavyweight belt, and they come full circle. Like it seems like they all on good terms. Roman acknowledged when Jay won the Royal Rumble,
Did
you
he?
know, on Twitter.
But again, that's what was on TV.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's another thing too. Like Roman is Roman, so if they gonna fall in line, let's say he doesn't win the heavyweight championship, Roman could brain finesse him into think like, look, bro, this is how it's meant to be. You and Jimmy, bro, like you had a good run, but
But
this is
then
what it's
that,
meant to be.
but doesn't that defeat the purpose of this whole story of
Jay
Jay
making it,
prove that he's Roman's equal?
yeah, but I mean,
See,
again, so
this is where I go back into my hat of bullshit of thinking that maybe this is how the final boss brainwashes Jay, saying, "Hey, we saw what Roman did to you years ago. I'm not going to do that to you. I want you to be a champion for the family."
because I'm just thinking on how do we get Jimmy back in good graces. And if Jay was to be that bridge, how can we make it make sense? That's what I'm looking at right now for that. Cause you right, everything will kind of depurpose everything Jay's been doing. In my opinion, like he's established himself as a singles competitor, so he doesn't need to be in a tag team.
What about Solo?
Solo and Jimmy,
We don't know where we can't confirm where his allegiance is just yet. You've
I think that's how
guesstimated.
you possibly make Jimmy look strong too. Like I feel
You've
like he
thought
never.
about him possibly trying to get himself trying to get back on Roman's good graces. We see him wearing his original shirt from the Bloodline again.
Oh yeah, Jimmy played. Yeah, when he came back at Bad Blood too, right? And he called that play.
Hmm
And Roman was like, "You did that?" Yeah.
But again, like Jimmy never gave up on
Nah, he never.
Roman.
Yeah. That's
Whereas
why for me,
Jay,
it's like
when
it
Jay
should
took
be
most of
that.
the, but when Jay took most of the abuse, he's like, "No, I'm done with that."
Yeah, Jay's the one that you always got to convince Jay. Jay, because he been through so much. He been through the mental abuse, the physical abuse, whatever other abuse you could think of. They
And
put him
and,
through.
and like I said, the Bloodline started with him and his brother joining against their will. So I mean, like, I don't want to see Sammy involved in that anymore. I'm kind of over that. I don't even think incorporating the other family members would do much.
Which there's been reports on. I don't know. I read something earlier. Um, Lance should be cleared to be back on Evolve soon. I didn't really know he was dealing with an injury for this past couple of months or since he's been signed. I guess he's been dealing with an injury. So he's about to make his Evolve appearances. Hikaleu, they've been looking to get word on him. Maybe that's something to keep an eye out on. There hasn't been much of anything from Hikaleu, so we'll
Been
see.
nothing. He's been completely off the grid.
And again, I've been saying Solo's been acting real calm, like he's not worried about nothing. Like even when they taking losses, when Jacob's on hots, anything could be happening, and Solo's just chilling like real suave.
Don't worry.
Yup. And he again, I said it. Solo be trolling them in their faces when he do shit like, like, well, I he gets into that bag right there. He does that little shoulder stuff. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Like he gives them that one. I'm like, yeah, he's trolling them
But
right in their face. Like,
the other option I'm seeing of trying to get Jay back in 10 toes down would be getting physical with Rikishi. Get Pops involved. But again, is that the way they're so far separated? Is that going to be enough?
I mean, it, I don't know. Where do we go with the whole like? I don't want to spend too much time. We didn't really cover SmackDown that just happened, but Braun Strowman single-handedly took out the bloodline. Like, I mean, Jacob was standing after getting put through the. But where do we go with the? Does Jacob and Solo happen, or do we see Jacob and Braun Strowman at Mania? Like, are we pivoting away
I
from
don't want to
Jacob?
see Jacob and Braun again. I'm sorry.
That has to happen on a regular SmackDown, right? Like, that has to
Yeah.
happen. That has to happen on a regular SmackDown. And then
Um.
something with Solo and Jacob happening there because that kind of confused me. I'll be honest. Giving Braun that momentum and that, like, again, I don't know.
And then what do you do with Tama Tonga?
What's the word on Tongaloa? When, like,
I mean, from his torn bicep, he should be back any day now. Should have already been back based on my math.
right? I mean, it's been 6 months, no?
Unless he's training Hikuleo and then they just come out and do their own shit. I don't know.
When was Survivor Series? November. I mean, that'll be 4 months since November, since the War Games match. If he could come back in 4 months, that's a blessing. If it take Tom 2 more months to make it six, that'd be WrestleMania Backlash or Backlash, excuse me. I'm so used to saying WrestleMania Backlash because they did so much foolery after the WrestleMania pay-per-views in general and PLEs. They'll just name it WrestleMania Payback, WrestleMania Backlash. Like,
Yeah, they say on average 3 to 4 months for a torn bicep. So again, should be one would assume any day now.
yeah, so he got some time. If we just give it, if it's short time, he should be back. If it's extended time, 7 to 9, 6 to 9,
Well, shit. Cody had a torn pec and a bicep. And how long
and
was
was
he out?
back.
The next
He,
day.
I mean, he did Hell in a Cell. I don't remember when Hell in a Cell was. I'm assuming that was in September or something like that, or May. It could have been August. Nah, the the fuck them Hell in a Cells used to be in October, I think.
Yeah, and he was back by Rumble.
Yeah,
So again, couple months.
yeah. Mm. Yeah, I mean, everybody's different. We'll see how he's rehabbing, what he's doing over there to get back. You know what I'm saying? A lot of questions for the bloodline surrounding him. I mean, and I say the bloodline, even including Jay, even though he's not in the bloodline, he is bloodline affiliated at this point, being related. Like, so
I
we'll
chill
see what
about
happens.
I chill about Cody's promo on Friday.
Um, that's the one where he told Cena, "Come get some,
You want some? Come get
come
some.
get." Beautiful. I think there was more stuff he said. I can't really remember right now, but
Well, he
honestly,
kind of he kind of piggybacked on it on Raw today.
I
Talk about
think
how Cena couldn't be bothered to come to these shows, but
that's
also
what that's why I couldn't remember because he was doing the long-winded thing. I remember he said
hmm
my daughter was gonna ask me what happened. I gave her a little lie, ran into the wall, and then like you said, he started to get into the Cena stuff. I once had a hero. He said he'll never give up, but then I'll tell her one day that he did give up. I thought again the way he was laying everything out, his energy. It's sad that it takes two legends, The Rock and Cena, to bring out the best promos in Cody. It's
but again,
crazy.
let's look from this aspect. It takes essentially the one A and the one C, kind of putting Austin as the one B as far as mic work to get this out of Cody.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
So it took two of the best to get this out of him. And again, like, I'm sure the match will be fine, the story will be fine, but
Now I like it though because again, going back to what he said on Friday, John, you think the what he said, to paraphrase, the next person isn't supposed to look like the last, or it doesn't look like the last.
Mhm.
And John, you think the next person's supposed to have the same lifestyle that you had, and he went into the whole bag. And I'm like, yeah, nah, that's fire though, because now you really setting the table for people to believe like you could be the next face of the company for real, for years to come. Like, even though it's kind of happening already, but like you laying out, you don't have to be a John Cena archetype. You could just be the Cody Rhodes archetype and get them like them things.
Well, here's my problem with that promo because again, when he first won the belt, he was bragging about how he wanted to be John Cena. He wanted the John Cena schedule. He wanted to prove he can hold the candle to John Cena.
So you feel like it's hypocrisy there.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel that.
And now this promo today was vastly different. This seems like what more like we should have heard on Friday, but Friday's promo, yes, it sounded nice, but you're just feeding yourself lies to where I feel that this John Cena heel turn may not be the actual heel turn. I think this is more layers for Cody's inevitable heel turn.
Mm.
I don't know how we're gonna get there at this point, but I something tells me that we're still on that trajectory.
Man, that'd be again. It's an interesting way to go about things. Like if Cody do the double fake, like really fake this out, didn't take the Rock's decision, but still go heel a different way, or do take the Rock's of this like offer eventually, but in a
Or
different
maybe
way.
this drives Cody into a level of lunacy to where similar to Sammy and his conspiracy theory gimmick, it's just Cody's mind. It's just him versus everybody. Everyone's out to get him.
You know how much that'll fuck everybody up if whatever match it happens in, and the Rock is by ringside, Cody wins, looks over at the Rock, walks over to him with the championship,
And
hands
does
it
does the Austin and Vince thing.
hands it right over to him, bro. There will be uproar. People will be throwing cups, pop, whatever they got in their hand. They'll be throwing it.
Isn't that what we want?
Hell yeah,
Well, at least it's what you and I want.
bro. That reaction again. In real time, it'll be annoying for security and all whatever parties involved. But when you replay value that shit, it's gonna be just as sweet as that.
Let's go a little
Come on.
deeper. You have Cody beat Cena the same way Solo beat him at Mania. You squash the shit out of him. You
Mm.
make it completely one sided. And Cody does almost like that. Are you not entertained? You guys wanted me to slay Super Cena. You guys want me to beat Big Match John. Now that I did it, this isn't enough for you. Fuck you guys. I mean, he told Rod to go fuck himself. I mean,
I laugh because I picture Cody saying that, like, go fuck yourself. Like, I'm good. I'm good.
but again,
Oh
I mean,
man,
and then maybe that's how we get to Cody and Randy. Who knows? But again, this John Cena stuff, or whether it's that or Rock's audibles, definitely complicated a couple things.
definitely. I think Cody's promo tonight, again, I it's gonna lead to some crazy stuff because he keeps putting emphasis on Travis Scott. So funny enough, that's what I'm looking forward to. His Travis getting his receipt. I'm be honest, like it's gonna be entertaining. I want to see what he's
You
gonna,
know he's got one coming, and it's gonna be nasty.
bro. If he, you know how the security guards used to get the accidental spots from Cody, where like he'll throw the chair at them and that should have just slipped, hit them in the face, like. Bro, yeah, this one ain't gonna be accidental, but like we gonna get one. Like if he gets that chair thrown at him, bro, I'ma be crying. I'm not even gonna lie. Travis, yeah, you that shirt, wrestling is real.
How I feel about the original WWE logo.
On that,
Yeah.
it was fire.
Well,
A lot of people was like critiquing it. See, they got a lot to say about it. I mean, overall, I thought it was cool. It's dope. We
I
grew
gotta
up
put
on
someone.
it.
I gotta put someone on blast right now.
Oh yeah, come on.
Actually, Ambulance may need to roast them. This person put on the caption: Roman was not needed for this feud. Fuck you mean?
This is where it was going.
It was,
This is how it was. Yeah, it's ingrained. It's
and
already.
another thing that I've been saying for months, whether it's Punk Cody, or I mean Punk and Seth, Cody with Bloodline, Anthony with Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Solo Jacob. All these stories revolve around one man only.
I'm screaming, but here we are.
But again,
Yeah,
all these
they went
stories,
wild with that.
love it or not, they all revolve around Roman. The WWE universe is revolving around the gravitational pull of the tribal chief. It's
I
a
think
fact.
folks should have got so disappointed. Again, I spoke to you about this off air, right? There was folks around me sitting, and this is no disrespect from my angle to CM Punk or Seth. There was some folks around me getting up to leave, maybe because their kids had to go to school the next day. It's already getting late. That I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. They had kids. The moment they heard from whoever they might have heard it from, WWE employees, security, gave them the heads
Hold
up.
on. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yo,
Give us a
wait a
couple minutes.
minute. They gave him that heads up. So folks, I think would have been disappointed if there was no Roman Reigns tonight. Is where I'm
I
getting
mean,
at.
the match would have been fine, but
It would have been
again,
fine. But I think that statement that you just showed us is not accurate. Like this Roman, he needs to
oh
be
yeah,
in this
this
story.
person is clearly in the minority.
Yeah, they on that time with I don't know what Kool-Aid they sipping, who spiked their drink. like
Dave
what
LaGreca.
like yeah, what's going on here? We need to start checking drinks here, guys.
Do I need to show you their Twitter handle?
We want Cody. I seen it. I was like, oh brother. I
We
wasn't
we
surprised when I
we
seen the
found the
name.
Cody crybaby.
Again, there's two championships. Roman should have either one of them, maybe both. I'll be honest. But we wanted this Cody stuff. We got it. It's here.
Who the
Don't
fuck is
don't
we?
don't the community,
Oh,
the IWC,
I'll say we were not a part of that narrative.
like you know what I'm saying,
I'm almost certain in our past films we were not part of that narrative.
bro.
We were accepting of it, which is one thing, but we
You know
felt
why?
that the
You know what
rightful
made it so damn accepting that damn story, bro? Like two parts of it, the actual story, and then that shit sounded like such a cool phrase to keep saying. You got to finish the story. You got like we've never heard no shit like that in wrestling before. You got to finish the story.
I mean,
You got to finish the
what
story.
got me was that slap in Vegas at that press conference.
Bro, that was a slap heard around the world. People were texting me, sending me links to something I already seen, but I click
I
it
think you and I sent the same clip back and forth like
back to
10 times.
back,
Like, what the fuck did we just watch?
bro. Like still shots we sending links, we sending video, we sending screenshots, sending it all,
Just the image of Rock's hand is engulfing the face.
bro. We done made graphics from that moment.
Uh, that'd be one hell of a T-shirt too, if you ask me.
hmm No funny in WWE 2K25, they have that in one of the My Faction modes as like the two cards. You got the Rock slapping Cody.
I think I've seen
Like,
that.
yeah, like that's so cold, bro. Like, oh man, that moment is so cold.
Again, it's a moment that painted a picture for the main event for both nights.
I think what's
That
gonna
moment
be,
was the catalyst.
bro, amazing. Again, and we seen similar with the Elimination Chamber. It's setting up what's to come. It was the kick to the nuts.
The look on Cena's face. It was the curb stomp that Seth gave Punk.
You
Another
bought your
catalyst
first
could
action
be
figure? Nice.
another one could be
It
Jade's
gotta be
return to
Mo.
start the show off. Again, moments.
You feel me?
Also, speaking of moments, I would be remiss if we didn't get into this. Naomi's promo
Mm. From
from
SmackDown?
SmackDown.
Yeah.
I did it for you, Bianca.
Go ahead, lead us in. I gotta run to the bathroom.
We saw a very distraught Bianca Belair essentially demanding answers. She said, Jay's not picking up the phone, but I know Naomi's here. Naomi, bring your butt along. We got to talk. We got business to handle. And just after a few back and forths of Naomi gaslighting, buttering up, whatever you want to call it, just ask. It is a simple yes or no. Did you have anything to do with Jade getting laid out a while back? And again, Naomi went on the carousel for a few laps discussing, oh, what about the good times? What about this and this? What about blah, 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 X, Y, and Z? A part of me thought Bianca was going to pop her in the mouth and just say, hey, tell me now, or I'm going to assume you did it.
If Jade wasn't coming through that night, that's what needed to happen.
But we get Naomi basically just abruptly saying, yeah, I did it. I wish I did it sooner. I wish I pushed her harder. And again, much like
Okay,
him with,
so
with all that stuff, Bianca needs an award for her performance.
oh yeah, she's definitely been bringing out the tears. The waterworks have been, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was over too dramatic. Like, cause come on, bro. I'm a 30-year-old man, bro. Like, you feel me, bro? Like, so for me, the emotional stuff, I could only um relate to it, but so much. Like, you know, it was a little bit over the top, and like me and Snakes were talking about it in my crib, like the elimination chamber when she was yelling real loud, like.
Because she was confused, like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
Yeah, like it's a
I also
two
see my
part. Like
ride or
I
die here. Like, what
appreciate
the
it.
fuck happened?
Yeah, you feel me? Like, but again, that's WWE. I gotta applaud them. WWE Bianca making this cinema, giving us something that we not accustomed to, right? Like that's real emotion. Like bringing out the emotion. Like she's feeding into it. What I thought was interesting, to be honest, was everything Naomi was saying. Like, do you think it
Yes.
doesn't hold some merit? We've been
Yes,
talking
it
about it.
does.
Yeah, like Naomi said touched on some points where Bianca was good on her own and Jade kind of came in and stunted. I mean, I'm just paraphrasing, kind of stunted her movement, not her
Riding the
growth.
coattails.
Yeah, riding the coattails. And then later on in the promo, when Bianca's leaving, she tells her, "You ungrateful bitch, brother."
Bingo.
And then the emphasis, like it was just like, oh man, like I felt that, like.
Just imagine your closest friend of X amount of years. You guys are joined at the hip, and they just, as Punk would refer, stab you in the front and saying, "Yeah, I did it. What about it?" With no ounce of remorse. But what sold it for more for me, which I kind of maybe I read too much into it. I don't know, but when Jade comes out, her and Bianca had a little stare down to where it's almost like Jade's looking at Bianca like, I knew you had nothing to do with it all along. This is between me and her.
Mm-hmm. And
I,
she,
I,
yeah,
out of respect for what we got, stay out of this one.
but she also looked at Bianca like, you fucking dummy, like.
That's also what I read into it too. It's like I saw two different sides of it. Like I knew we shouldn't trust her, but I knew you had nothing to do with it. I knew your hands was clean, but this is between me and her.
It's
Now
an interesting, yeah, it's interesting. What you was gonna say?
also I'm generally curious as to if they choose to do so. If we learn down the road What if Naomi was a pawn for Bianca,
Mm.
and that was just the trap? Only thing is that Naomi didn't clean up her mess. She didn't finish her food.
I mean, I don't want to be the one that looked too much into things, but I thought it was funny how they were both wearing black. Like,
And at the PLE, they're both wearing white.
right. And then the
This this
and,
was the and lately they've been wearing matching gear when before it's just been mismatch.
and in kayfabe, she hasn't heard from Naomi, so they didn't coordinate this.
Right. So I think there might be more to this. I would like there to be more to this, but again, this just started. Let's see where it goes. Unfortunately, I do not picture this being a WrestleMania match. As much as I would love it for it to be,
Who Jada and Bianca?
Jade and
I
Naomi.
mean Jada and Naomi. This
It
is what I
could
say.
be, but
It
I need a
starts
lot of
off a night.
convincing.
It start maybe the second match, not the
I
first.
I,
Maybe
I need quite a bit of convincing.
I mean, so does Jade have a match on WrestleMania? Because the last time she was in a match, what was it? A six woman or was it was some kind of tag team
It was a
match?
6-person tag.
Yeah. So like Bianca's obviously caught up with her situation, looking like that might be a triple threat. We didn't see no Jade come out to really disrupt what Bianca had going on Raw tonight. So as of now, it don't look like she got no intentions of disrupting what Bianca got going on.
Hmm.
I'm be honest, I think if there's a match on that card on WrestleMania that doesn't have a title, I think you could slide that one in there, a non-title match,
Yeah,
feud
yeah,
behind
yeah,
it.
yeah. But the question is who?
You said with who?
Yeah, that's the question. Who?
Jade and Naomi.
I mean, like I said, I need a good amount of convincing for me to think about having that be on the Mania card. Yes, there's plenty of time for them to paint the picture, but mm,
The part that I'm kind of like, do they still want Jade to be a fan favorite? Because I thought she would have been the one to turn. Like all indications since they got her injured, it was like,
she's gonna be a merch machine like how Jay is. And again, we've seen Bianca's heel personality almost as like an art form, similar to Charlotte, to where they have that rare ability to where they can be a real you know what,
mm-hmm.
and not many. I don't say they're comfortable going down that level. It's just it just suits them better. What would be interesting would maybe be Jade versus the Chelsea, but again, say no or Jade wins that. How do you get the belt off of her? I wouldn't mind seeing Jade versus Nia, but again, how do we get there?
Right.
If you put her in with the match of Tiffany and Charlotte, that just pisses all over Tiffany.
I think is for right now. I think it's just gonna be Jade and Naomi. I can't see no other situation.
And again,
And
like I said, you could probably get a man match out of it. It's just for me personally, it's just I'm nowhere near convinced yet.
now I feel that. I mean, the way Naomi should have really. I think she should have battled it out. She's playing chicken shit heel, kind of ran away from Jade,
Oh no,
and
Jay
it,
still dropped her.
yeah, threw her over the table and shit. Like, but initially she tried to scurry out the ring, and obviously she just ripped the neck brace off, right? Which you appreciate the neck brace. You want to see. So she was over here selling it and then just ripped it off. Like, you know
Hell of a lot
what?
better than Cody.
She even bedazzled her jaw, had the glitter on
And
it.
she wore that to the world premiere of Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, bedazzled it. I mean, she should have just sat there and brawled it out, but she should have took the bumps. She should have not got the better of Jade, in my opinion, just so it could feel like a more fierce, like, oh, this is about to be a cat fight for real, like.
Right.
But we didn't get that. We got cat and mouse rather than a cat fight, and
Speaking of cat and mouse, we got Tom and Jerry out of LA Knight and Shinsuke.
LA Knight picking up the victory over there on SmackDown. I thought it was a big moment. Also, I felt like he kind of did something that gave it away to me, but I don't know. That's probably just me looking into it. He wore the vest that he started wearing when he became champion.
Yep.
So
It's a
I was like,
different vest than the regular one.
mm-hmm. That brown with the gold strap up there. So I was like, I think he's picking that up tonight. It was just that little small thing, but
But what on earth do you do with Shinsuke now?
um, honestly, I don't know how long his contract is, but I think you put him in that legend bracket. Like, he's already older. Like,
What I'm
he's
getting at is, if his contract's almost up, do you cut ties and let him ride out in the sunset back in New Japan? The problem with that is he'll then be at Tony's disposal.
that's why I give him a legends deal. Somewhere we could still use them in video games.
Because I would have to assume that Tanahashi wants to have one more bout against one of his greatest opponents in Shinsuke on his retirement tour. But yeah,
Like, I would like to see Shinsuke, if he's gonna be in this character role, develop it more and use your presence how a Tajiri was out there, or how, like, a boogeyman would pop up sparingly.
what if I kind of wouldn't mind this, but also I kind of would hate this at the same time. What if you pair him with EO?
I mean, I don't know if you remember when I
We
been
we touched on
said,
it before,
yeah, we been said that either he should have been part of the damage control, or they should have did a spinoff of that and made a group with him to add a male to their presence. But I thought there was something there when it was Oscar, EO, what's
Kyrie.
EO's, yeah, Kyrie Sane and EO Sky. I thought they had something right there with them, cause not that Dakota Kai, but she was the only one that's kind of like not Japanese from the group after they
Wish he
kicked
spoke
Bailey out.
Japanese.
Yeah, so it's like I guess it worked, but again, I think it'd have been like, at that time you got the LWO, you got the one dude that's not Latin, right? We always touch on him, but you have, like, it'd have been just dope to see Shinsuke incorporated with them. Think they dropped the ball on that a little bit.
Would it be a bad idea to let him run with the young bulls down in NXT?
Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna lie, like,
Because I'm looking at it on this regard and this regard only. How else are you gonna solidify them as a third brand?
I guess they trying to do it with showing that they can hang with the likes of the TNA
But that
people.
that can only get you so far. But again, eventually you want to tap into the mainstream crew.
Right.
And think about it, the US title picture's deep. The IC title picture's deep.
I
The
hate to give
tag
you this
titles are
answer,
deep, at
bro.
least on SmackDown.
It's the contract situations.
But again,
NXT could never be a main roster.
it's got to come down where getting where you fit in.
Like, for the fans, because we got some smart fans out here. The contracts be public knowledge somehow, and when you find out that said people don't got a main roster deal, it kind of it puts a different outlook on the said talent.
Okay, so what about when Dolph and New Day went down? They were still on their main roster deal.
And then look what happened to them.
Yeah,
Future Endeavor.
look at New Day now.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm be honest. I'm
Look at
surprised
Finn
they
and Dom.
stood. Baron Corbin though,
But again, look at guys like Finn and Dom.
Dominic, not Dominic, Dodjack.
Yeah.
He got sent up,
Well,
sent down.
allegedly he was exiled because he was Sean Ross Sapp's mule for
I'm
insider stuff.
screaming.
That's the rumor. I don't know if it's been true or not, but that's what everyone's been talking about on the internet. That's kind of why he fell out with WWE. He was
Mm.
giving him all the shit.
I mean, shit. Everybody gives some shit. Cause how the fuck he knowing about some shit that's he shouldn't even be. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he just happened to be the biggest mouth in the room. So
Yep,
we gotta
and
throw him.
and
Yup, you know how
everyone knew he had a big
that.
mouth.
You know how that shit go. Oh man. But nah, I think it goes 50-50. It depends on how the town again, what I was saying, that magical getting the crowd behind you. Like I think like Baron Corbin, he did a good job with Braun Breaker.
I think
He
he
got
just
back
ran out of time. And if you figure he was there over 10 years, but by the time he finally got something going, just got lost in the fold, and
look
it
at
was
the
too
Good
late.
Brothers. They sent the Good Brothers down to NXT. I'm thinking, okay, well, they're gonna help the young guys down there. Now, granted, Carl with the injury, still weird
Hmm.
to see them get released during the injury though. You rarely see that.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
I just think I'm worried for guys that like a guy like Shinsuke, if you already on the decline on the main roster with guys like Obafemi down there, it's like it's just it's really curtains. I'm not gonna lie. Unless you somehow able to recapture your flame like Finn Balor did that time he went back down and he was able to recapture the gold down there.
Yeah, but also guys like Finn Balor or even AJ Styles, they're not injury prone to the level that Shinsuke has been.
Right, because after Finn's first injury, after the undisputed or the Universal, I haven't really heard of him being injured at like not no
The
costly
last
time.
injury I know that Finn had was when Kyle O'Reilly broke his jaw at the end of that match for the NXT
Well,
Championship.
we watched Finn break his thumb in the ring, or it looked like it, and he just kept going.
Oh,
It
do
was
you
no
remember that
se-
match he had with Kyle O'Reilly for the NXT title?
I remember the match, but I don't remember the jaw breaking. Like
So
I remember
there's
them
a
going
spot
at
towards
it.
the end of the match where O'Reilly gives him a kick, and upon impact, Finn immediately knew something was broken because his eyes went from closed to they just popped open, and then once he moved his hand from his mouth, his shit was just pouring.
Even 16 Staples couldn't keep him away for next week. Like, remember that when they split his fucking head with the ladder in that match?
Hmm.
Crazy. Nah, Finn is he's a workhorse too. Shinsuke though, I don't know. I think again, to me, he's a character, right? We talk about characters. At this point, he's a dude that he could spray the poison mist.
Hmm.
He could be somebody's man. He could be somebody's Mr. Fuji. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, Mr. Fuji used to throw the salt. He could do the mist. Somebody could do the roll up, cover so the ref don't see the face with the mist on it. Give him the shoulder angle. You feel me? Like I think he's serviceable in WWE as a heavyweight competitor. I think that time is sailed.
Yeah,
Like I'm just
but
sorry.
again, that's where I feel like he could have some sort of purpose, either giving the kids in NXT a new look, maybe let them have some fun in TNA because he got some old connects there as well.
Now let me ask you something, because we in the John Cena retirement tour era. We've never seen something like this where Like the last time we seen one of our legendary greats go out, it was almost like a heartbreak. We seen Undertaker lose his streak at WrestleMania. Like I thought Vince would let this man go 30-0 or 20-0, whatever the case may be, and just call it, right? Now we in a Triple H era where everybody getting a happy ending. No funny. Everybody getting a happy ending. Cody's getting to finish his story. Roman surpassed. He got his historic days. He did his history. Now it's like, what else are we gonna see?
I mean, as far as the main roster, only thing we haven't seen is the main roster, quote unquote, Raw and SmackDown give the rub to other champions aside from Jordan Grace and Obafemi and the NXT champions.
Cause I say that to say this, like a dude like Shinsuke is in his. He got more years behind him than he has ahead of him, right? So does he get a retirement tour? Does he get like a, obviously it can't be the same. Everybody can't have the same, but do we get a little stretch of months where like maybe this was it? Was this United States his last good, like your last achievement in the WWE? What I'm trying to say.
I say yes, and again, a part of feels like if Shinsuke were to retire, it would be back in Japan.
Now will he go down as one of the best United States champions in your eye?
No, not even cracking my top 10, unfortunately.
You counting WCW into your
No,
top 10? Okay.
I'm counting SmackDown from the early 2000s to now.
Oh yeah, we talk about John Cena, Big Show,
Bobby
JBL,
Lashley, MVP, Matt Hardy,
like
Kevin Owens.
I'm not gonna lie, I might be misinformed here, but if Finley held that belt, man, might make an argument for Finley there.
I know he held IC, I think. Let me look that up. He was a United States champion.
Mm.
That was the only gold he held in WWE.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm trying to see how long he had that thing for. He only had it one time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I might be a stretch there, but who knows?
It was one time. Oh, I just passed it.
I'm not gonna lie, Zack Ryder might have been a good U.S. champion. Rusev was a U.S. champion. Chris Jericho had the U.S. championship.
Much like the IC championship, anybody who's anybody had that championship. But again, unfortunately, Shinsuke doesn't crack
Samoa
my top 10
Joe.
for that.
Samoa Joe.
Like I said, anyone who's anybody.
Mm.
But again, like I can put Shinsuke in the list of NXT champions, but I can't put him in the list for United States champions.
Man, it's just because also another dude that's getting up there in age, which tonight had a segment, AJ Styles. It's interesting. I thought they was gonna have him in a match with Logan Paul tonight. We see Logan Paul come out. He's attempting to cut a promo. Madison Square Garden isn't letting him get a word off.
He rips the shirt off a kid.
That was yeah. I was like, man, poor kid.
It had to be
Kid's
one of his
just
plants.
yeah. The kid just sitting there like, man, my shirt.
Like, man, what do I do now? I just spent $35 on this shirt. I even tipped, so I spent 40 on the shirt.
Logan Paul says he doesn't know why Cody Rhodes turned down the Rock's offer and he'll sell his soul. Logan Paul is just too funny, man. But yeah, he pointed out Andrew Schultz right there in the crowd. This is where I thought things got a little weird, to be honest. I
Oh, a
thought I
little.
didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know if it was improv. If this is where I thought it was kind of a good job. He like, give him a mic, give him a live mic, and
And again,
Andrew.
folks, if you guys don't know Andrew Schultz, look him up.
To his credit though, he kind of sold the moment. Like he's like, give me a live mic.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like, you sure about this?
Yeah. So then Logan Paul asked him like, who did you come here to like? What did you come here to see tonight? And he said, the Hell in the Cell. All right, yeah, the Hell in the Cell, but who'd you come here to see tonight? Andrew Schultz is like, Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Nobody came to see you, Logan Paul. Straight flamed him. After that, Logan Paul just proceeds to just bring him over the
Yoink him out of
barricade.
the crowd.
Bro, I was like, oh, Andrew's getting physical?
Yeah, I was like, oh, this should be
I love
interesting.
it. And again, some people may shit on the usage of celebrities in here. I mean, this is professional wrestling, y'all. Like, come on. We've seen the usage of
It's
celebrities.
not like it's Bob Barker, Drew Carey, Jerry Springer, Jon Stewart.
And
If you know,
again,
you
like,
know.
again, too, like I told you off air, Andrew Schultz, I watched him on that other side of the barricade to the end of the show. He stood there the entire night. It wasn't like he just did that segment and then left because he got to do his podcast tomorrow.
Now, what's more of the surprise? The fact that security didn't separate Andrew from Logan, or the fact that Logan was saved from an unlikely adversary?
Mm. I think the latter.
I agree too, because again, to my understanding, AJ and Andrew Schultz have very different beliefs. So I was like, "Oh, AJ's making the save. Oh, okay, this is interesting."
And at that point, it was a little odd to see both of them in the ring. But again, we're giving that New York rub. Like I feel like this is the celebrity they chose to highlight. They reached out to yo. You wanna get in there? You wanna do your thing? And I wasn't too happy with it, but I wasn't too upset with it either. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, you can't get Derek Brunson because supposedly he's hurt. You might break Macaulay Culkin. Um, Fabulous might have a gun on him.
Man,
Let's just be. I'm being honest.
you know what was funny about the Fabulous stuff? Remember a few years ago, John Cena had the cutout of Fabulous. Well, I say a few years ago, many years ago at that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He had the cutout of him and was rapping. They were supposed to have that rap battle. Good stuff, good stuff. I just
Those
and
were the
look, I'm looking at it
days.
right now. He was about to set Andrew up for a suplex, so it's like
No, no,
it's
no, no,
cool.
no, 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 no. This is a move that Pat McAfee has dubbed the pulverizer.
Oh,
It's like a suplex DDT. It looks badass. I'm gonna be honest.
oh.
You haven't seen it?
Did he do it in the match? Like,
He's
is it
done it a
something?
couple times. It's clean.
Mm,
Logan's got something there, and McAfee gave it a very catchy name of the pulverizer.
man, he was setting him up for that right there. I was like, oh, Andrew's gonna take a bump right here. So again, it's cool to see these. Obviously, like the more athletic ones, if their season is ongoing, like we seen Paul George in Philly. Like I don't expect the basketball players, the football players to really do much while their season is even their off season. Like the
Look
Niners
at
got
this
mad
is
at
Dennis
Kittle.
Rodman say, "Fuck a playoff game. I'm gonna kick it with the NWO."
Hmm. Man, that's the beauty of being your own boss. Got to reach them levels,
Honorable as hell. The motherfucker was under contract.
man. He ain't give a
No,
shit.
but how do you feel about Andrew after AJ said him doing the "This is New York" and that little corny ass rah rah speech?
I guess it was just, again, the people in the arena gonna pop. They hit a city, the good old
It's the
pandering
Mick
to the
Foley
crowd.
cheap pop.
Yep. So again,
But
I was a little disappointed though. I thought this was gonna lead to a match between them this evening,
I'm
and
surprised that Logan let AJ talk down on him like that. I was waiting for AJ's country to bring out the "Bring your sorry ass over here, boy."
I feel like I'm gonna be honest. I done went to a lot of shows in the Garden and Barclays, and this was like a classic. They know what the Garden likes.
Hmm.
They like to boo Logan Paul, so they put him in a position where they, get
I did
booed.
like the "This isn't Cleveland. You in New York."
Again, driving home the emphasis for the crowd to feel proud. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
To get them going, get them riled up and hype. And I mean, it was what it was. Hopefully, I still do look forward to see what they gonna do. I don't know.
Now,
This is one that I don't know if this is WrestleMania worthy. Like we talk about
now, so
WrestleMania
so
worthy matches.
now you and I kind of like had some words about this last week as far as what should be AJ's Mania match, and I feel this AJ versus Logan seems a tad bit more appropriate than AJ versus Braun for Mania. Nothing against Braun, but this I think this is more for to get Logan to the level that he's aspiring to be at.
I could see that.
And call me crazy, but can you imagine if Logan Paul beats the phenomenal one at WrestleMania?
I feel like that's what's gonna
The
happen.
nuclear heat that's gonna be on that Ohio fuck, as Maxie would call him.
I mean, like, bro, I think this should just be going over people's heads. Like, it's kind of disrespectful too. But I mean, he beat Rey Mysterio, a Hall of Famer,
He took Roman Reigns to the limit.
and Cody.
But, but the match with Roman, that was an absolute
That was crazy.
classic.
Yeah, he took Roman to places he ain't been in a while.
That's one of those where everyone that night or that afternoon, because the Saudi show looks like Logan. My apologies. I was not familiar with your game, my friend. Carry on.
Hmm.
And again, if you want to be serious about it, again, there ain't many better than AJ Styles, especially with the style you're trying to do. No pun intended. So again, that if that is the Mania matchup, that might be the sleeper for the entire weekend.
Now that we
And
mentioning Braun, though, I think it's kind of weird that he doesn't really have nothing because I feel like that Finn stuff is gonna lead to the Dom stuff, like you said. Finn and Dom gonna come out of that. So we got a few weeks to see, and I'll be disappointed if it.
there's one.
I hope it's not Ludwig.
Oh, not even close. Wrong
Okay,
country.
okay.
That's
We still got that in the back lurking.
just marinating.
Hmm.
And again, you got plenty of time for that too. I also again, if you do not do Finn versus Dom, I would not be opposed to watching Dom and Braun run it back at Mania. Another match could be a sleeper.
That I mean, it could be.
But I think the move might if it's not AJ versus Braun, I could see them getting back into Penta versus Braun, and maybe you have Gable screw him over, and then that's how we set up the backlash stuff. I don't know. Again, what's wrong with Gable versus Braun?
I mean, since you mentioned Gable, can we get into like speculations of
Gracias.
After that Logan Paul segment, we get a tornado tag match, LWO versus the New Day.
Put some
Uh,
respect on their names.
tornado tag match, like I just mentioned, action right off the rip. All four competitors in the ring. Woods and Kofi Kingston looking phenomenal out there. Be honest, like from the entrance, like hearing their new song in person, I like it. It's cool. It sounds like a real tough remix on New Day Rocks. Like it just, I don't know, it hit in the moment. So
Have
I
you
was
had a
with it.
chance to listen to the lyrics yet?
Nah.
There's quite a few nods
Oh,
to
matter of fact,
SmackDown on
yes,
the
yeah,
track.
I heard that one, and I was like, are they going to SmackDown
Right.
soon?
I was like, what you mean? I had the Drewski. What you mean by that?
Yeah, I did hear that actually, and I was like, that might be a little spoiler right there.
But again, as we anticipated, the match was exceptional. Um, what happened towards the end was very, very fascinating. We get an individual pop out from the crowd wearing I'm a quoted as such the Bloodline all black outfit,
Hmm.
and we see an individual who do you smoke Ray with a
I think,
German,
yeah, he got Ray with the German.
and we see an individual with a very interesting mask that right smack dab on the forehead read American made. And then we get the very emphatic Gracias.
Now,
Who
my
who
first, yeah,
who who could it be?
my first thoughts was Chad Gable. I'm sitting there like, it gotta be Gable. It gotta be Gable. That's the
But the
last thing we saw.
but the more you look at him, you're like, he's a little slim to be a Gable. Unless Gable dropped 30 pounds in Mexico.
You know what I thought about, bro? What if it's Axiom? Cause he got a
He-
full mask.
but he's got a British accent.
We didn't hit it. I mean, it
Again,
said gracias.
it wasn't Gable's voice. That much we can confirm. Again, we've never seen Axiom's face as well, which again,
Cause
possibly.
look, NXT's in town. Also, they got the. It could have been an NXT person.
Yeah, Axiom is a little fair skinned. Now, again, just to be completely right field, and you and I talked about this off air. If this individual was not injured, to my knowledge, this would be absolutely wild because it'd be once again another glorious one finger salute to AEW. And by that meaning, could you imagine if the individual was El Hijo de Vikingo, a very slender individual, a well defined chin like we saw in this matchup, and guys quicker than a hiccup? And we saw this guy left very, very quickly.
Yeah,
Like you
like I
blink
know
and he's
Gable to
gone.
be fast, but I didn't never see Gable run that quick.
Yeah, this was lightning. But again, we just gotta
Interesting
wait and
layers
see.
right there. Yeah, it's interesting layers right there. I mean, later on in the evening, we see Gable backstage being interviewed, and then we also see the
Also,
mask.
real quick, a moment of appreciation for Miss Kathy Kelly.
Mm,
Mm-mm-mm. But as we saw her instigating, saying, "Gable, we know it's you." Gable's like, "What do you mean? I just got here." Then we see old boy in the back with security being carried out, damn near. So once again, who could it be? And the
mm.
question is this something that we let marinate until Mania? Or would we be okay with this resolving after Mania, knowing with all the stuff we're gonna have to digest that weekend?
I'm
If
cool with
this is
them
the
drawing this out.
because if this is a new debut, the last thing we want is this to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I'm cool with them drawing this out. And I think this is a nice surprise to throw in on a Monday night in Madison Square Garden. Like I don't think nobody's seen this happening right here where you're gonna have an interference in the LWO match and they've been suspected to be Gable underneath this mask or affiliated with the American Made.
Or we haven't gone the McMahon Russo method yet.
What's that?
What if it's Phoenix?
I thought about that. I was like, that'd be crazy.
Because there's no word on his if he has no compete or not yet. We were just told he had to sign some basically some NDAs saying that he can't badmouth AEW.
I mean, and I always thought too, like, there's always talk that him and Penta gonna attack. What if their first story is them fighting each other?
It'd be interesting. It'd be different. I think they've done it maybe once in TNA or maybe once in Mexico. They haven't done it very often. That would be something different. But again, I go back to the general size of the individual we saw. This is a leaner individual, and Phoenix is a little bit. He got some size on him, like Penta. Like he's deceivingly big. So it's like, But whether it's Phoenix, whether it's Vikingo, maybe Action, whatever, with Gable, they're all roughly the same height. That's what makes it interesting.
Hmm. Again, too, I looked back a few times. It wasn't like I couldn't clear cut say, yeah, that looks like Gable. Like,
We just saw someone with one hell of a chin.
hmm. But I thought that was an interesting portion of the show right there. We spoke about the Cody segment after that. Yeah, I mean that there wasn't really much there. We get women's Intercontinental Championship #1 contenders match: Bayley versus Raquel. I mean, I'm be honest, like I told you off air, I'm not gonna act like I sat here
Oh,
and
I
watched.
think I think we all feel the same way. And again, it's nothing against them. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, it was a perfect opportunity for me to get up and go do a few things in the arena, to be honest. And when I was done, I came back and seen Raquel picked up the victory, so I guess she's gonna be the next challenger for Lyra Valkyrie's championship. Now I say
Yeah,
this: if they make her double champion, th-
that,
this is where it's like I don't understand because when they didn't have the championship and she was in that tournament, you could have
just
easily had.
call it what it is.
Yeah,
It would be stupid.
yeah, I wouldn't fuck with it. I wouldn't
In the
fuck with it.
words of Randy, stupid, 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 stupid.
Yeah,
It's one thing if it's live, but
and
yeah,
Lyra from the Jackie Redmond position up there when they did the interview, I didn't really enjoy the interview. I'll be honest. She can use some work. Like,
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even hear the interview part.
yeah, I could in the arena.
I
I couldn't
legit
hear
might
her,
have been in the bathroom when that happened.
bro. And even being in the arena, I couldn't really hear her because she was kind of talking low. Like, it's just like as the champion, she wasn't driving home no kind of emphasis. And that's my problem with a champion like Lyra. It's kind of like you're not an underdog, but you're not like a real dominant competitor either. It's just it's kind of weird what her stance
I
is.
will say this that compared to what we saw between Io, Bianca, and Rhea was night and day, and it's not even funny. We see Cole attempt to interview Io, and then rightfully she gets the "you deserve it" stuff, gets lost in the moment, embraces the moment. Good for her. And then we see Bianca come in, and Cole, who's getting very good at instigating bullshit. He's getting very good at it. Brings up the question. Well, if you didn't really get into a Rhea, one could argue that it would be you versus Rhea.
Mm.
And like perfect timing, Rhea storms out down that ramp like a bat out of hell.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie here. She got one of the biggest pops of the night, bro. Like, no, I mean, like, seriously, like, Roman shit was loud, but Rhea shit was
Rhea is
loud
respectably
too.
up there as well.
Yeah, like,
And Rhea was hitting some points, I must admit. Why'd you help her out? Are you scared I'm gonna whip you again? Why don't you go worry about what's going on with your best friends, Jade and Naomi?
mm,
Take your ass over there.
mm. And you know, that really got to Bianca. She's like, you really gonna take it there?
All's fair in love and war. Sorry about it.
Man,
But to our favorite part, the, for lack of a better term, the belittling of the new women's champion, Io Sky. Getting pie faced by both of them.
straight
Almost
disrespecting the
like
champion.
grown folk talk over here. You stay over there. Io bows up to Rhea, bows up to Bianca with a little extra mustard. Again, this is not the same Io Sky from a couple years ago, from even last year's Mania when she went in as champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
And she's out. She's shooting to kill now. She's tired of all the bullshit. You want her to be a killer, all right? And she's gonna hit you with the "don't say I didn't warn you."
I ain't gonna lie, it was beautiful how EO just held her place. She's getting
Rightfully
overlooked
so.
as champion. Yup. And she's standing her ground, 10 toes.
And
It
again,
makes me more interested for the triple threat now. Again, what I said earlier, yeah, Bianca won the chain, but again, if we could find a way to tweak a few things, why not add?
and these are necessary adjustments only to amplify the fact that this match should rightfully be a big deal and a raffle contender to main event.
And it answered the funky questions. Like a few weeks ago, we was like, how are they gonna remedy Rhea defending the title after the PLE, after the Chamber PLE? Like, we found it a little odd, like where they going with this. And now, oh yeah, okay,
We getting somewhere. I had an old coach that used to tell me there was certain stuff was going well. Now we cooking with Crisco.
yeah, it's cooking, it's hot.
And I
I'm looking.
believe, speaking of that's cooking hot, that takes us to what our main event.
Yep, the man. Listen, that vibe. They did the little music like when they lower in the cage. They
Hmm.
set the mood. They
And
got us
I
hype.
and again back to the commentary part. Michael Cole stated this was the first steel cage match on Monday Night Raw in 10 years.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Really though, didn't they do Solo and Cody on the Raw in the steel
That was a
cage?
SmackDown.
I'm screaming. You right though,
Because
man.
again, Roman pulled up for that too. But again, we get Seth with once again another interesting outfit.
It looks similar to the what he had at the Chamber, that purple giddy up.
You mean when he looked like a goofy goober?
Yeah, He
So
had
we get
them
that.
purple J's on.
Mm-hmm. And then we get Punk walking out, just staring a hole through Seth Rollins. And like I told you earlier, they censored the shit out of this main event.
Mm-hmm.
You have a stare down with Punk and Rollins. Punk outside the ring, Seth in the ring. Because right before that, I believe they showed. I don't know if it was Punk's record. I don't know if it was for. It couldn't have been for cage matches, but it had to have been just on Monday Night Raw or something. It was some worse. I didn't quite catch it all, but it was 8-4, whatever. But you have, or maybe not that venue, something like that. But you have Punk tell Rollins, "This is my house, motherfucker," and they censored that.
Man, was the arena split? Like, it was so crazy. It was such an environment. Listen, they was such in a brawl fest. Who one of my favorite part of the matches when like I don't know who did it first. It might have been Seth. He signals for the ref to open the door, and he tells Punk, "You
Go
want to
ahead and
get it?"
quit.
Yeah.
Go quit,
Oh,
like you always do.
it turned into that. Seth ain't even care if that would have gave Punk the victory.
Mm.
You have to make statements.
But even before the very beginning, what were they trading blows for at the first 5 minutes? Just getting punch drunk.
Yeah, straight like a hockey fight.
And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we saw an attempted pinfall until the tail end of the match.
It was so I didn't see no
Lo-
pinfalls attempted that I forgot you could even pinfall in the match until I seen Punk go for it.
I saw a couple towards the end when they started trading GTS, but before that, I didn't see shit. I almost forgot. Like I said, I forgot you could win by pinfall or whatever because they're just teeing off. He does his finish or whatever, swapping GTSs. Like you said, Seth opened the cage saying, "Go ahead, quit, leave like you always do." And Punk gave him the finger. That got blacked out. A few minutes
Mm,
later goes by. Punk returns the favor. Seth flips him off. That gets blacked out as well.
that's weird.
And it was very weird. That kind of threw it off for me a little bit. And then Seth tells him, "I built this house. This is my arena. This is my company, motherfucker." And he does that again. That gets censored. So I'm just like, this is a little funky.
Mm,
But then, what was it? Might have been when Seth was being told go and quit whatever. Seth's on. It's very similar to the closing moments of Revolution, to where you have Seth in the place of Fletcher telling Punk in the place of Osprey, "I hate you," blah blah, all this stuff and all that. And Punk just explodes out of that corner with the Shining Wizard,
mm.
just smacking the mush. Like I never seen that man move that fast. It's like he was shot out of a cannon. And the fight's on again.
Man,
To which I think Seth was going for another buckle bomb, and Punk starts, I believe, start climbing the ring. He's going for some either another elbow or something like that. Then they're fighting on top of that, which again, that got a little sketch a couple times.
yeah. When they went to the top, I was like, okay.
I was waiting for the Garnet chant, "Please don't die, please don't die."
It was the suplex that
Mhm.
that did it. That's what kind of saved the grace, because I thought Punk was gonna go to the well twice, and then when Seth went up all the way to the top of the, or like I thought he was gonna kind of like throw him off, or like some kind of crazy spot, but the suplex was a safe spot to go to.
I was just thinking, for the love of God, do not go for that superplex Falcon Arrow.
Bro, this is what
It's like
whew.
there's no way that was gonna end well.
Because I ain't gonna lie, from where I was sitting at, it looked like that suplex was still tough to pull off too.
Yeah, because he had to like drag her from the
Drag,
top and just hope that
hope,
momentum just carried through. Otherwise, Punk's landing around top of his head.
yep,
And
yeah,
but then it picked up again.
man,
We see the cage open. We see again Rollins gassed, Punk's gassed. Out of nowhere, we hear this thunderous roar, The crowd's looking this way, this way, this way, this way, everywhere. About a minute and change goes by, roughly, because it seemed like forever. Seth is dragged out of the cage. We have a winner. And who drags him out?
Roman Reigns. And you know what's crazy to that point? Like, again, seeing things, you said the crowd roared. Instantly, my eye went off of Seth. So I don't even see the whole cage open.
I thought it was left open, to be honest.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Roman's gonna have to climb over or something. He had easy pickings.
You know what I was kind of expecting? That old school thing where they come through from the bottom of the ring.
Wow, man, like
My brain went there
real Undertaker,
because
old
a couple
school,
spots where
Big
I kind of
Show,
Big Show, Kane, Umaga, Taker. Like my brain went there for whatever reason.
man. Nah,
But
yeah, I'm thinking like he's gonna come out while they're both laid out, maybe after that suplex.
or maybe
That's
even
like
something like Kane and Lashley rip the door off.
right off the hinges, like, mm. And then leave the show on a cliffhanger where they're both like knocked out in the middle of the ring. Match is over. Like, I thought that's where they was gonna go with it. I was surprised again to see Seth Rollins get the victory. Like, I kind of was,
It was
and it makes
very
sense
interesting.
though. It makes sense because it's like I'm gonna do Rollins there, but here Punk for costing me the Rumble.
Well, no. Again, I'll get to that in a moment. But again, like I said at the beginning of the show, it's obvious this whole time that public enemy number one's always been Seth Rollins. So that's always been the real heat of the matter. Where Punk then became a casualty was when we saw an unlikely soul in the middle of that ring consoling Punk. And that was the wise man. And I'm gonna do my best impression of Jim Cornette doing the Three Stooges. If you're not familiar with the bit where they talk about Niagara Falls, you see Roman in slow motion do the slowly I turn. Immediately he sees Punk in Heyman's hands, almost like Heyman's son was beaten to within an inch of his life. And we thought he saw red when he sees Rollins. This then kicked it into overdrive because now he sees his wise man maybe going soft. Yeah, you got a favorite, but again, I got my personal stuff. This was supposed to be just business. Why are you making this personal? Knowing what he did to me at the Rumble.
I thought he was gonna
So
spear Paul Heyman. Honestly,
I thought he was gonna get Roman with a Superman punch, and we were gonna have Cole saying, "Roman, what the hell are you doing?" Like I was expecting bedlam, and I think the Garden was expecting some kind of chaos as well.
yeah. Like it was cool to see him spear Punk, but I think you're right. I think we were kind of waiting for like that. No, he didn't do that to Paul Heyman.
Yeah, like you did what to who?
Yeah, cause that gasp came out the. I'm telling you that like that moment when Roman seen what was going on in the ring, everybody in the arena was like, "Oh,
Yeah, and I was getting goosebumps, and the minute he connected with that spear, it's almost like that impact, much like Cena kicking Cody in the nuts. It was one of those rare moments where it felt like time was standing still. Though
it
I've
did
been
feel that way."
prophesizing this for the last year, that was irrelevant. That's one of those holy fuck, this is actually happening. Like they joke with Jacob too. The leash is off, the chains are undone. He's on the loose.
Man,
And then we have Roman tell him, "You know what he did to me. He's got this coming." And then do we call that? Do we call it a super spirit? What are we calling it? That
yeah. I
was
mean,
just a tribal ass beating. And then we get that beautiful image that we led up the show with of CM Punk laying down motionless, Roman Reigns standing over him, and an emotionally traumatized and distraught Paul Heyman behind Roman's left shoulder. Let's
Man,
go back to that. Let's go back to that image one last time as we
man.
wind down this amazing episode. This right here, the look in Paul's eyes is, oh my fucking
Yes.
god,
He
what the hell just
recognizes
happened?
he no, yeah, that, but I also feel like he recognizes that tribal chief. What we were saying, wreck everyone and leave. He's like, oh, don't tell me, no.
He's awake again.
Yes, like, oh no, that's the vibe I'm getting. A little bit of what you saying, like, what the hell? Why do you do that to Punk?
And now it quickly turned into, oh fuck, he's back.
Yes, yes.
In the words of the legendary Jim Ross, when we would hear the beautiful music of Batista, the animal has been unleashed.
Again, to your point, you said he's not a good guy, he's not a bad guy, he's the guy. But in the land where people want to categorize babyface or heel, does this look like babyface imagery right here?
This is one man above anything else. In his world, there is no good and evil. It's his word, or you suffer the consequences that Punk and Seth suffer tonight.
Man.
He is the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
Mm.
Like I said earlier in the show, he is in full fledged God mode.
Yeah, bro, this is a man he's coming back and he's not taking no prisoners, playing no games.
Saying he's on a warpath doesn't even do that justice. He is out for blood and anything else that gets in his way as he gets, as Punk will put it, his 1 pound of flesh. He wants to hang Seth Rollins' head above the mantle like a big game hunter. He wants to solidify himself beyond a shadow of a doubt why he is the top of the food chain. Why the WWE Universe solely revolves around him. And like I said, the look in Heyman's eyes right now, he knows that this is far beyond his control. This Roman Reigns may be more dangerous than Brock Lesnar ever fucking was. And that says a lot. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that we would see something more dangerous than Brock. And I say he's more dangerous because Roman's more calculated. He's thinking 5 steps ahead. He's thinking of not only how to kill you, but how to take your soul and dispose of the body in one motion on some Thanos shit.
Man, this was definitely the right move. Bringing him back tonight. It's
Now,
setting everything up, setting the table for what's gonna happen at WrestleMania for weeks to come after that.
here's the question: do we see him on at any of the European shows?
No, I think that's why
So,
tonight was the right move.
are you saying we keep him as far away apart from Cena and Rock for the time being?
Yup.
That's fair.
And we have.
Honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way because you
Mhm.
run the risk of convoluting things.
Mhm. And then we had to give, like, let's say this is the perfect this is the perfect place to have a show before you go on an overseas tour. New York, because why? You haven't had Roman on program since that shit with Rollins happened at the Royal Rumble.
Hmm.
So
And
if
again,
you
like I
if
said,
yeah.
you have God on hollowed grounds.
The island of relevancy, like this is like they pop out where it matters. This is where it matters for them.
Where he deems it's relevant.
Right.
But again, who else is on this list? Because it's more than just these two that he laid out tonight. We can imagine Rock, definitely Cody. Definitely Solo and or Jacob, depending on what side they want to fall in line on. But again, maybe Drew, definitely Braun. But again, only the tribal chief knows who's on his hit list. And he keeps that close to the vest.
Mm.
Just when I think WrestleMania couldn't get any more chaotic, we get this.
This thing is shaping up, and again, I'm not being overly critical. I haven't been critical in years. I just got little opinions on, okay, this maybe should have went this way, but I've never had an outcry, outroar, and I'm not going to break that tradition because I'm enjoying this build. You got to let, again, what I said to you a few weeks ago. Sometimes when we do share our opinions in masses, they do audibles or they start to pay attention and start to ignite the fire. Like Triple H said it, he clearly said it. Does it feel like WrestleMania season now? They hear it, they know, they understand. But we can't just step out of our boundaries now. Let's not do that. Let's keep it how we've been keeping it, chat. You
And we
know?
know Brian Gewirtz has been having a field day like a kid in a candy store on Christmas morning, just poking the bear at Dave Melter.
Yeah, because when you see that's when shit get that's when the boundaries, right? I just said boundaries. It's okay to be a reporter, an analyst, but when you making shit up,
Well,
let's
I
just
think,
say play devil's advocate, right? If it's not made up, but it's not completely true. You don't have the complete facts, but one side who's working in there is for saying like, nah, that's not how it went down.
but but the route that Gewirtz has been taking is something that's been similar to my issues with some of the dirt sheet folks, in which if you get something wrong, just own it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. As humans, we get shit wrong all the time. No one's perfect. You don't got to be perfect. That's how you learn. But you got too
Mm.
many folks that cannot admit when they're wrong, to where they'll either delete it like nothing happened, or they'll just block you and say, "Well, you're just gaslighting me." No, we're trying to make the culture healthier.
Yeah, because again, like it all got to make sense. With things like we seen earlier, we can't have the fickleness, like the tweet what I'm referring to, that Roman didn't need to be in this. Like that, come on, man, that's insane. Like we gotta stop. You just gotta let it marinate, let it happen. Other stories are happening. This is just one story, and the masses of other things going on. We got Cena, Cody, Rock story going on. We got this story going on. Like
Because
we all
saying
right,
Rock
y'all.
didn't need to be involved in this is just like us saying that Braun don't need to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah, we all right, y'all. We are okay. Like I think it's shaping up to be a entertaining WrestleMania regardless of the outcome. Because I'm looking at, okay, what'll disappoint me more is if all stories came to a conclusion at WrestleMania and y'all didn't know what to do the day after WrestleMania, that coming Monday.
Which
I
we've
f-
seen in years past.
right. They're setting things up for months, years to come, so I'm cool with that. I'm cool. It's just continuity issues. If there's continuity and y'all skipping by, we're gonna question that, of course. Of course.
And it's one thing to question continuity, it's another thing to be fickle. And like I said, we do not want the latter.
Right.
But what is shaping to be up another barn burner is you, my friend, will be partaking in another show at the Garden with Roadblock.
Yes, yes. I mean, listen, if you want to recap that too, and I mean,
Well,
when
I'm
I go to these
fucking
shows, I got
down
the
if you
energy.
want.
Yeah, I got the energy when I recap these shows. Like, I can't be tired after being so excited. It's just like hard for me to come home and be exhausted. I don't know, like everybody else is different. I still be energetic after the shows, like so. I could probably muscle
Once you get the
another
house,
one
you get
out.
that second wind.
Yeah, man, like. And again, I like to watch the show. But again, I don't know about everybody else. When you in person, you don't hear commentary, you don't see certain angles, and I like to watch the show back when I get home too, or just have it on the screen as like I did tonight when we doing this recap. So I want to definitely tap in and get your thoughts on tomorrow's. 'Cause I feel like I told you this a week ago. I think something, or maybe a few days ago. I think something's gonna happen tomorrow. Like I can't put my finger on it, But I mean, we got Moose versus Obafemi.
You have that, yeah, and that, again, that's you have two matches where it's title versus title, or it's winner take all. You also have the Hardys competing for the NXT Tag Team Championship, and then you got young OG Javon Evans running it back with, is that Ethan Page? That's not the Page, is it? Who's Javon Evans competing against?
Is it Trick?
No. Um. Let's see if I can
Who
find out who
is
this
Trick
was.
fighting them all?
No, but if you've been keeping up with NXT, Trick's been crashing out lately.
He might see that's that thing that might happen tomorrow. He might just come be disruptive.
Also, supposedly we're getting Roxanne versus Jordan Grace, and the LFG coaches will be in attendance.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Like I know, I mean, I'm not. It's just like a sidebar thing. Like I really want to see what they got. If it would be interesting if they got a match for them competitors on some like season finale. Y'all have a match at Roadblock, but it's you know what I mean. Like whoa, you got to see what happened on the episode to see who they chose to win.
Hmm.
Kind of vibe like.
I don't know why this is bugging me. Who the hell is Javon Evans wrestling against? Is it Sean Spears?
Oh, it might be Sean Spears, the United States champion. I say
The
United
new, the
States,
new North
North
American
American.
champion.
Yeah.
And also between Julia and Stephanie, I believe Miss Parker's saying she got next.
Oh, it's Javon Evans versus Ethan Page.
Is that Ethan Page?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm looking at a card right here.
because that picture didn't look like him. But anyways, again, they killed it at their last match.
Oh yeah, you see, I'm gonna definitely have to start taking my wifey to more of these NXT shows because I know Axiom and Nathan Frazier is gonna be a treat for like for her because that type of style,
But
I think
again,
she likes
you're
without
getting
even
them
knowing
and the
it.
Hardys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
One of the greatest tag teams, not only of all time, but a tag team, one of a few that defined an era.
It's different too, cause the last time we got to see Jeff Hardy, he was by himself. Like Matt was over in AEW.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think Jeff has been healthier.
Yo, he looked good, man.
Like,
And
this man has turned back the clock almost 20 years.
I don't know how recent it looked recent too. I've been seeing him doing TikToks with his daughter.
Oh,
Like,
they're very recent. He does it. He pumps out a couple every day.
yeah, that's beautiful.
And like I
I
said,
love to see it.
I'm just glad he's still above ground. Because a
Yeah,
couple
bro.
times where he had us worried, but that match is going to be incredible. That whole show is going to be incredible.
But yeah, any you got any predictions or anything you think will happen at that show? You think Obafemi loses? I can't imagine he loses. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't look at Moose at that same dominance he was when during the pandemic when he was saying he was on the level of Roman Reigns and all that when he was the heavyweight champion. I'm not looking at him right now, to be honest, as that same Moose. I could be off. Like that's just how I feel though.
Well, I think we're forgetting one little thing.
What's that?
Do we see the faction featuring our boy or Osiris pull up?
Mm.
We ain't seen them in a minute.
You know he was low key on LFG too, right?
Yeah,
That's wild.
could be scouting for all we know. You never
Yo,
know.
that's good. Nah, for real. I haven't seen them since. the
I know
last
they had 1 or 2 appearances on NXT since that PLE. 1, maybe 2 appearances. But yeah, they've been very low key.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, we got to see with them.
Also, just because I'm a selfish bastard, I really need to see one half of the American Wolves, Eddie Edwards, make an appearance in WWE for the love of God.
Okay, what about the other dude? I forgot his name. He retired?
Which one? Davey Richards?
Yeah.
Uh, he's in the cancel culture section right now. It's a long
Uh,
story. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Packed him up. All right. All right.
He packed himself up, from what I've heard.
Good choice,
It's a
Eddie
little,
Edwards.
but Eddie Edwards, he's still killing it.
Yeah, good way to,
Again, what if we see, what the hell's his name? Kurt Hawkins, maybe.
Oh yeah, he needs to resurface. I think it's time. And
You
I don't
also
know.
got Joe Hendry and Elijah. You got Santino Marella. Maybe Masha Slamovich pulls up to go G-check Jordan Grace. Who knows?
Let's see.
It's gonna be a fun show.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
And,
man.
and all
Go ahead. No, we gonna have this rolling in the background. Go ahead.
and MJF and Kenny Omega.
Man.
Have fun competing with what WWE is doing right now, folks. They have perfected the formula made famous by Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and they're fulfilling this formula better than Vince could ever have dreamed of.
Now, question for those because I don't know, where can they view this? Is this on cable? Or is this a Peacock
Or
PLE?
Roadblock?
Yeah. Oh no, this is on CW.
Yeah, it'll be on CW.
All right, bet. Nah, 'cause I was trying to get a feel. Was this a PLE on the low, or this is just a special episode of NXT
This
that they call
used
a
to be a
Roadblock?
PLE, but this is like Great American Bash, No Mercy. It's just a one-night special event, basically.
Okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Yeah, no.
And
'Cause
again,
it's still important though. I ain't gonna lie.
it's also NXT's debut at the Garden as well.
Right. It feels very important. So.
Granted, it's a theater at the Garden, but it's still the fucking Garden. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, they could probably get in trouble with the advertising saying the Garden, like got people thinking they're gonna be in the actual. But
Well, they've been advertising it at the theater at the Garden.
there we go.
But is it the same building or?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still the Garden. So folks are still gonna be 50. You know that.
Yep. I've never personally been in that portion of the that theater because there's always like it's really I guess remember how you looked up auditorium and arenas, the difference between those. I guess that's more of a thing for like plays and concerts. Mm-hmm. And I used to see a lot of like Disney things booked there or like kid related stuff.
Yeah, you might have that's not some players there, maybe a Disney on Ice there.
Types, yeah, you feel me? So it'd be definitely interesting. I seen on the map, or like when you buy the tickets, you obviously see the layout. But I'd like to see how that come to life. To be honest, it's gonna be interesting, and to see how it translates on television. Because I'm be honest, NXT been doing good with every venue. They found a way to make every venue look good with the angles that they're using.
I can't wait until TNA goes back to Full Sail because that was perfect for them.
Bro, that's the benefit right there. Like, they just unlocked a cheat code right there. Like, oh, whenever WWE on the road, I mean, maybe we could just pull up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can see them calling Shawn Michaels like, "Hey, you mind if you pull up over here for a couple days?" Sure, go ahead.
Because that crowd is hot over there, that Florida crowd. Like, I really enjoy that intimate wrestling setting because kind of that's like what we grew up on, and we also grew up on the bigger the use of arenas and stuff too. But intimate settings is dope too, to be honest.
And smaller promotions like TNA, they know how to maximize every square inch of that place.
Yeah, bro. That's what makes it more special too. It's not too much ground to cover, so it feels like on eye like they covering a lot of ground, but they really
It's
not.
just enough for them.
Yes.
Now, I'm sure, and say later this year or maybe next year, them and NXT could probably link up to do multiple Worlds Collides, and those be their bigger shows, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, time will tell.
I know who that is under that mask. Bro.
Lay it on me.
Nah, it can't be him, bro. It can't be that dude that Cody got into AEW. What was his name? El Hijo de Fuego del Sol. He's still in AEW, Fuego del Sol.
I don't know.
Bro. I don't know. I just caught a look at him when he was carrying him out, and something said Fuego del Sol, bro. And I remember he was going through like a weird thing with AEW too, where they wasn't using him. They used him as a different character or something. Like, yeah, I don't know. Some weird stuff, man.
It could be one of Don Callis' old boys.
It looked like a relatively young, and I'm gonna be honest, looking at Gable when he was at that with Kathy Kelly, the person that they was taking out looked like the same person that did the German suplex.
Right.
Yeah,
usually
so
you could tell in the
switcheroo
or whatever, but
yeah.
Again, same shoes, same outfit, nothing looked out of proportion.
Yeah, you got it. Yup, I seen that right there. Again, it was hard to see that backstage in person, cause you know well, I don't know if you noticed tonight they went with that smaller Titantron in the entranceway.
That means they wanted to say, fuck it, we're gonna add more seats.
Yeah, they packed people behind the Titantron. I even heard them say at one point that we had 17,000 people in the arena.
Cody got that wrong. According to Cole, they said they were closer to 19, maybe even 20.
Wow.
But 20 is probably including the entire staff, but right. 18.5 probably sounds realistic because they were hugging 18.5 right before the show went on the air.
I mean, I look forward to the day that we go to a show. I told you that off. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting the world know. Yeah, we gonna talk it into the existence.
We got royalty in the chat. We have been graced with the YTC.
Oh, wait.
I thought the internet got you again.
Nah, I had to run to the bathroom. YTC Roman Reigns. Hello. Again, like it's mind blowing to me that I know every city get to experience some cool shit, but sometimes I really wish people got to experience that vibe. You know what I'm saying? That Mecca vibe, because it's really a different vibe.
Certain venues are just special.
Yeah, like people that travel and go to, like, I want to go to a Chicago WWE event, see how they do. Like, I know that, like, whoa, I would have loved to have been in the building the day CM Punk came back. You kidding me? What? Like, man. Just a vibe. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there because I gotta go to the NXT show. It's 4 a.m. over here. I gotta get some rest.
Yeah, take your ass to bed.
Hell yeah. You know what it is, man. Much love, chat. I appreciate everybody that's been here. My brother Razor. Y'all see our ats right there. Y'all go follow us on Twitter.
Also on Twitch, Kick, whatever your preference of gaming platform is, we on everything.
Yes, sir. On that note, check. Y'all have a good night.
no way, I think they lost the script.